It's been a hard couple of weeks for the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. Very tough. Tough. After the trying to subvert the democratic process and get Owen Paterson off after he'd been censured for lobbying and not declaring that, Boris had to do a humiliating U-turn and accept that he had mistakenly conflated two issues together, namely getting a mate off and getting a mate off. Damn good chap. Poor Boris. Some have said that his failing is being a good friend, trying to support old Owen Paterson, a Brexiteer like himself. Maybe not. Others now are arguing that what Boris was actually trying to do was to get rid of the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner, Catherine Stone, as she may be about to investigate what has become known as Wallpapergate. Yes, this involves Boris and the wife doing up the flat, but not the way you and I would do up the flat. No, doing up the flat for the Johnsons cost £200,000, with wallpaper costing £840 a roll. The beauty of that is the golden wallpaper is so heavy it has started falling off the walls. Yes, Boris was a bit short for a couple of quid to get the thing over the line, and he got a handout. A friend handed, a friend helped. That's what it's all about. Another Tory grandees, Lord Brownlow, gave a bit of the money in just to help poor old Boris over the line. Now, some have said that if Boris had been successful in ousting the Commissioner, Catherine Stone, over the Paterson case, he would have ruled this case out as well, which means he'd have killed two birds with one stone. Did you see what I did there? I hope you saw that. I'm sure old Boris was hoping for a breather after the Owen Paterson case, but no, Sleaze continued to slide. In this case, it was about MPs double jobbing, and this time it was another Tory grandee, Geoffrey Cox, MP for West Devon. This time Boris didn't even try to support old Cox. No, he threw Cox to the wolves. He had learnt his lesson, and he was savaged by Keir Starmer in the House of Commons, by the British press. From the right wing to the left wing, Boris was in trouble. Keir Starmer stood up and was having a press conference to bring in new rules to try to get MPs to earn the £82,000 we pay them without skiving off on other jobs, when Boris simultaneously released his own bill. Yes, now this isn't a new bill. This is a bill that has been sitting with him for 3 years. From 2018-19, it was sitting. Boris just must have forgot. Out of my head. But now they're bringing it in, and unlike Starmer, Boris has decided that if there's to be any second jobs, they must be reasonable. Yes, no more than, say, 15 hours a week. And when's it getting brought in? Soon, very soon. I don't know, really, I don't know. But that's what it's up against. That's what we're up against now, is most of the MPs in Parliament treat it like a hobby. It's not really their main source of income. They get that outside, not lobbying for other interests like big business. No, advising from the goodness of their hearts. What could go wrong? A bit of video I found during the week encapsulates what the Tories really think. And it's a clip of Tory MP Andrew Rosendale. Now, at the start of this clip, Mr. Rosendale is addressing the Tory decision to rip away the £20 uplift in universal credit, which kept the poorest members of our society able to buy food and maybe even heat their homes. Mr. Rosendale was very worried about that. He even questioned if they needed it. The second bit of the clip, well, that's more recent, and that involved Mr. Rosendale's fears and worries about the suggestion that MPs paid £82,000 a year aren't going to be allowed a second, third, fourth, or maybe fifth job.
I think that this is a balance. It has to be judged very carefully. I think there are people that quite like getting the extra £20, but maybe they don't need it. So they need. I'm very cautious on this because I know that some of my colleagues have jobs and outside work that they do, and that means them having to give up changing their lifestyle. We have to be careful about this. We have to realise that we're dealing with human beings who have families and responsibilities.
Yeah. Human beings, yes, the chapter, lovely chapter, all human beings with families. Whereas those on universal credit, who are living in tenements and flats, who are basically starving, having had the £20 taken off them, well, they're not really human. They're just people. I get to vote for me every 4 years. Plebs.